In New Mexico, the SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence Institute, detects a strange pulsing signal on July 2nd. The lead scientist reports it to their superior, and the team continues investigating the origin. They suspect the signal may be a transmission from another planet, though the idea seems far-fetched. As they trace its origin, they discover it's coming from a moon. Despite interference in radar signals, the government eventually pinpoints the source, a massive flying object, approximately 550 kilometers wide, that has entered Earth's orbit. At the White House, the Secretary of Defense alerts President Thomas Whitmore about the anomaly. A gigantic alien mothership is slowly moving toward Earth. Meanwhile, in New York, David Levinson, a former MIT scientist now working as a satellite technician at a cable company, notices major satellite disruptions. As the issue intensifies, he becomes suspicious. He struggles to accept that such a colossal object could be approaching Earth, but his fears grow when the mothership releases dozens of smaller, disc-shaped ships, each about 24 kilometers wide. These destroyers begin positioning themselves over major global cities, including New York, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., and Moscow. Military officials meet with the president to evaluate their response options. A soldier interrupts the meeting to report that the objects are multiplying and will soon enter Earth's atmosphere. In a desert in Iraq, civilians witness inner Mao's cloud from Matines hiding the alien ships. U.S. Marine forces spot the same and relay it to government authorities. Television and news broadcasts begin failing, making it harder to report updates. As the alien ships become more visible, President Whitmore delivers an emergency address to the public. Around the country, tremors are felt, thick clouds form, and strange smoke appears in the skies. The alien vessels begin emerging directly over city buildings. Fear and disbelief grip the population. Many people stand frozen, gazing at the shocking sight before rushing to find safety. Streets descend into chaos, with traffic jams and collisions. Back in New York, instead of evacuating, David climbs to the roof to observe the spacecraft more closely. While analyzing satellite data, he decodes a hidden signal, realizing it is actually a countdown, likely signaling a coordinated alien attack. Elsewhere, Captain Stephen Hiller, a U.S. Marine Corps pilot, is at home with his family. His girlfriend's son tries to warn them about the aliens, but they don't believe him. It's not until Hiller steps outside and sees a helicopter flying by and the alien ship hovering above the city that he realizes the threat is real. David returns to his office and explains to his colleague that the alien ships are strategically stationed over cities and are counting down to a simultaneous strike. He believes the signal will vanish in 6 hours when the attack begins. As his co-worker panics, they watch President Whitmore's national address. David immediately calls his ex-wife, Constance Spano, who works as the White House communications director, to warn her of the danger. She dismisses his concerns and hangs up. Determined to save her, David travels to Washington, D.C. with his fatter Julius. Meanwhile, a man named Russell Cass, a former fighter pilot who claims to have been abducted and experimented on by aliens a decade ago, decides to flee the area with his children, fearing the worst. When David and Julius arrive in Washington, they find chaos erupting around the White House. David reaches out to Constance again and persuades her to let them inside. Once in, he warns President Whitmore about the countdown and explains the aliens' likely intent to destroy humanity. As the countdown nears 0, David urges the government to take immediate action. As the Air Force closes in on the alien spacecraft, the extraterrestrials retaliate using advanced energy weapons. President Whitmore quickly orders a mass evacuation of the cities under threat, but it's already too late. Just as the president, David, Julius, and others board a helicopter to escape, the countdown ends. The alien destroyers fire devastating energy beams, triggering massive explosions that obliterate entire cities. Chaos erupts as people are stuck in traffic or trapped in buildings. Most who remain behind are instantly killed. Cities that once buzzed with life are reduced to rubble and ash. During the destruction, Jasmine, Captain Hiller's girlfriend, and her son Dylan are caught in a traffic jam. They narrowly survive by seeking shelter in a maintenance room within a tunnel. When they emerge, they find themselves in a wasteland. No signs of life, just ruin. On July 3rd, the U.S. military launches a counterattack. The elite Marine unit, the Black Knights, targets a destroyer positioned above Los Angeles. They strike first, but their weapons prove useless against the alien ships' impenetrable energy shields. As they close in, alien fighter ships release their own shields and retaliate with lethal force, wiping out most of the Black Knights and surrounding military units. With losses mounting, commanders order a retreat. Captain Hiller manages to outmaneuver the enemy ships and leads one of them into the Grand Canyon. Running out of fuel, he activates his plane's parachute, which blinds the alien ship, causing it to crash. Hiller ejects and survives. He approaches the wreckage, opens the cockpit, and punches the alien unconscious. Meanwhile, aboard Air Force One, President Whitmore and his team try to assess the damage. After learning that NORAD has been destroyed, discussions intensify. David's father, Julius, speculates that the government already knew about aliens, referencing Area 51. The president dismisses it as a myth, until the Secretary of Defense confirms that Area 51 is real. Back in the desert, Captain Hiller drags the unconscious alien using his parachute. He spots a group of survivors, including Russell Cass, and asks for assistance. At Area 51, President Whitmore is briefed by Dr. Oken, the lead scientist. He shows the president an alien spacecraft they've been studying and explains that the alien biology is similar to humans. They breathe the same air. The aliens don't use speech, but are believed to communicate telepathically. Dr. Oken also shows preserved alien bodies in the lab. Soon after, Captain Hiller arrives at the base with the captured alien. Scientists begin the process of removing its outer suit. Suddenly, the alien awakens, breaks free, and kills the team in the operating room. It uses telepathy to control Dr. Oken's voice and speaks through Hi-M, demanding its release. Through a glass window, President Whitmore asks if peace is possible. The alien coldly replies, "No peace," and attacks Whitmore's mind using its psychic powers. Security forces react quickly and manage to kill the alien, though Dr. Oken falls into a coma. During the mental assault, Whitmore gets a glimpse of the alien's intentions: to destroy all life on a planet and harvest its resources. In response, he orders an airstrike on one of the alien destroyers. The strike fails, as the ship's shield blocks the blast. Disheartened, he calls off the attack. Meanwhile, the First Lady, Marilyn Whitmore, is trapped in Los Angeles with Jasmine and Dylan. Captain Hiller rescues them and flies them back to Area 51, reuniting them with the OT hers. A doctor examines the First Lady and informs the president that she's suffering from internal bleeding. Whitmore comforts her, but she soon succumbs to her injuries. On July 4th, David gathers the remaining leaders and presents a demonstration explaining how the alien shields function. David proceeds to activate a program on his laptop designed to disable the alien shields, successfully allowing bullets to penetrate the enemy ships. He unveils a daring strategy. They'll use a functional alien fighter craft to infiltrate the alien mothership in space and upload a virus that will dismantle the protective force fields guarding the attackers and destroyers on Earth. Captain Hiller volunteers to pilot the alien ship, and David insists on joining Hi-M to personally upload the virus. The U.S. military relays this plan to Allied bases across the globe using Morse code, coordinating a worldwide counterattack. With Lee-Mite personnel, commanders request volunteer pilots, including President Whitmore and Russell, who's eager to avenge the loss of his loved ones. Before the mission, Hiller and Jasmine decide to marry, with Dylan serving as ring bearer and David and Constance standing as witnesses. The emotional ceremony marks a reconnection between David and Constance as well. Just before launch, President Whitmore delivers a powerful speech commemorating a new kind of Independence Day. As David and Hiller set off for the mothership, Whitmore leads the fighter squadrons defending Area 51 from incoming alien destroyers. Inside the mothership, the T-Women are surrounded by hordes of alien attackers preparing for a full-scale Earth invasion. They reach the control center and successfully upload the virus, disabling the alien defenses across the planet. Meanwhile, Earth's forces quickly run out of missiles, but take advantage of the fallen shields to destroy more alien ships. Evacuations begin as the battle escalates. One of the alien destroyers opens its weapon port and prepares to fire on Area 51. Russell, realizing he has one final missile but a jammed firing system, makes the ultimate sacrifice. He flies his jet directly into the weapons core in a suicide attack, triggering a massive explosion that obliterates the destroyer and marks a turning point in the war. Back on the mothership, Hiller and David are momentarily trapped, unable to release the clamp holding their ship. They light celebratory cigars, share words of gratitude, and launch the nuclear device. The missile hits its target, destroying the command center. Freed from the clamp, Hiller OTS their ship toward the exit and escapes just as the mothership explodes. Returning safely to Earth, The Tiwa men light victory cigars as the team reunites in celebration. Around the globe, humanity rejoices. Earth is free again, and the war is won.